Hi, it's Dora, your editor here with a quick message right here up at the top. Voting for the Audioverse Awards 2020 is now open. This round helps decide who will be a finalist. You can find more information about the categories that we were nominated in and where to vote on our website at untitleddicegame.com. Voting will be open until midnight Pacific time on Halloween. We would really appreciate it. This does a whole lot for us. Please consider voting. That's all for now. Bye-bye!
Hey Blakesley, Joe said I had to call you for an update, so here that is. We went to investigate Hubbs and his murdering spree. August and Kolchek went to check out the bodies. Joe and I went to the house. We didn't actually go in the house. We went to see the house next door because there was a peeping Tom lady there. A woman called Sherry. Pretty sure she's suspicious. She pretended not to know much. I don't know. There's something about her. I don't know. But she believes that Hubbs thought he was fighting monsters. That much seems reliable. So it seems whatever this monster is can cause hallucinations. Perhaps he thought he was doing good or something. I don't know what he thought he saw, but he didn't think that he was killing his family, according to this woman, who again seems suspicious. Anyway, we also got a sample of the corn for you because you asked for that. I don't know why you need a sample of the corn. It doesn't really matter. Just destroy it. Oh, Kolchek also called his contacts or whatever. He knows someone in the FBI, an agent, Bill Smolsky, who told us about, or told him about, who then told us, whatever, that's not important. A time in 1987 where Randall Hubbs, as a kid, actually snuck out of his bedroom and was almost killed on the highway. The same summer, Kenneth Hester killed his family. Seems to be related circumstances, I don't know why though. From examining the body, August also gathered that they were already dead when corn grew from them, so that seems to be an effect of some kind of body offering that took place after death. I don't know, offering to who or why, or I don't know. The point is, it's not Hubbs himself that's powerful, it seems, but some other entities are involved. And if I know that entities, what's the betting it's a demon? Joe, can you stop shuffling back there, please? Hello there, my name is Ollie. I play Maxwell the Wronged. You can find me over on Facebook at OJWH Reviews, where I talk about films and TV and stuff. That's about it, actually, no more stuff. And I hope you enjoy the podcast.
Hi, I'm Sarah, aka Zero, and I play Joe Eastwood, the Chosen Playbook. You can find me on Twitter at ZeroRPG. That's SERO RPG. Cheers!
Hello, I am Jin. You can find me on Twitter at SageJin, and I play August Julius Linus, the Hex.
I'm Mike. I play Gary Kolchek, the Chosen. Excuse me, not the Chosen, the Gumshoe. And you can find me at Famous Poet 1.
Hi, I'm Chris. You can find me on Twitter at Finite Jester. We're playing a game called Monster of the Week. It's a Powered by the Apocalypse game, written by Michael Sands and released by Evil Hat Games.
Killer. So is everybody going to chat with Mr. Randall Hubbs?
No,
Not August.
Splitting in
That
half.
would be hilarious. Splitting in half. Okay, who's going to Randy?
Joe and Facebook, because Fonzie lost rock, paper, scissors. He's going
I didn't
with,
lose, I want to kill some demons.
He's going, that's so he says, he's going with Mitch to the house.
To the house? Which house?
Randall's house.
Oh, the where you guys just were?
Yeah, well, we were at the neighbor's house, the Coot and Twitches.
Why didn't we
didn't
investigate
go-
the house before we were there?
We didn't go in the house.
Completely missed an opportunity.
Yeah.
I
'Cause
changed
you're
my
bo-
mind.
'cause
I'm
you're
not
both
the
here
prisoner.
to
We were just there. I'm
things,
going
not
to
ask
investigate the
questions.
prisoner.
Oh, noted, and noted. All right, so while those two bicker on the back of the motorcycle, you lot, Joe and Kolchek, are escorted through the sheriff's procedure. He's not in prison, so you just have to go to the sheriff's department where he's being held in a holding cell towards the back. And Randall Hubbs he's like your just bland, nondescript dude. He's got like a shoe salesman's haircut. His hair is thinning. He's unshaven. His eyes have massive bags over them. He looks like he has just spent the last 3 days weeping. He is brought into this interrogation room where you two are and sat down in a chair. He is handcuffed to the table on the other side of you. What are you guys doing?
Joe immediately takes up position behind Randall, standing back a few paces, not saying anything, occasionally cracking her knuckles.
Bad cop established. All right, Kolchek, what are you doing?
So yeah, he'll be across the table from Randall and smile and be very friendly and sort of roll his eyes at Randall in response to the cracking of the knuckles by Joe and say, Randall, what happened? I'm a private investigator just trying to figure out what happened. Can you help us out?
I like, especially with the trying to establish the camaraderie by, making fun of the bad cop in the background and all that. Why don't you go ahead and give us a charm roll to see if we can open Randall up, get him talking and get him saying something truthful, because he looks very withdrawn and not particularly forthcoming at this juncture. So let's see some charm.
Damn, that's a 13.
Yes. Randall is prepared to open up, lay info dump. Randall just starts crying, and he looks up at you, Kolchek, and he says, I swear to you, all I saw were monsters. They were monsters, and they had to die. I don't know what else to tell you. I never would have hurt Lisa. And Maria and Victoria. And he's just going into this blubbering mess. Why don't you let's do an investigative mystery
Yeah.
as well. And then Joe, I think you can help if you would like to.
How would I help?
Oh, well, I feel like you're helping just by being there, exuding the particular aura of menace that you do, all this sort of stuff.
Oh yeah, like she'll get right up to his ear and whisper in it like, why'd the monsters have to die? Corn cob.
Nice. Kolchek, ooh.
I just rolled a 7, but that doesn't include any +1 that I may have received.
Oh,
from
look at
Joe.
my help roll. It's a 12.
That's an excellent help roll. It'll still only get you one question.
One question
for having landed, but by golly, if I could take a point of experience away for the 12 roll, I wouldn't, because that was a nice 12 roll.
All right. So let's see here. I'm going to take a look at the questions here for Investigate a Mystery and see we can't get. We've got what happened here. What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What was it going to do?
What was it going to do?
Concealed here. I think I am partial to where did it go or what was it going to do. Anybody have any opinions on that out of character?
I have strong ones, but mine are biased.
Except for you.
Damn.
Joe, will leave it all up to you, Facebook.
All right. I want to know, to push us to the next scene, I'd love to see where did it go?
That's a really tough one to answer. I feel like what happens is Randall starts talking. He's talking about that night, and he's talking about the monsters, and then at one point he says that at first I thought she came back. I hadn't seen her since I was a kid, but it wasn't her. It was somebody else, and she was so angry. She was so angry.
Who, Corn Cob? Spill it.
I don't know. I thought when I was a kid, this girl used to visit me at night.
Oh, yeah.
My parents said she was an imaginary friend. I we'd go out and we'd play in the cornfields. And then one day she took me to the highway and she left me there. I almost died. But I thought I'd imagined it. I'd put all of that behind me until Wednesday night. I thought she'd come back. She was older, but it wasn't her. She was so angry. Oh, she was so angry. She said that the corn would return. It had to come back all over Gilder. Where did it go? It's very much like it hasn't gone anywhere. It's here.
Okay.
If it's gone to hiding, it's gone home. There's some sort of base, but its base is here. It's been here for years, and it's not going anywhere. It's going to stay here until all of Gilder is cornfield.
Right. Well, that's all I could get out of him, Joe. Do you want to take a crack at it using Bad Cop?
Oh yeah, that'd be totally fair.
Okay.
I mean,
Joe will
Randall might not.
shove Randall's head down on the table and hold it there, and she'll be like, just saying in his ear, like, not really loud, but in a really coarse, like, really brutal whisper, like, why'd they have to die? Why'd you kill them, Corn Cob?
And you force his head down, and he goes with it. He starts smashing his head, and he's like, they shouldn't have died. They shouldn't have died. But they were monsters.
What did they look like?
What did they look like? They looked like these. Their faces were masks of evil. They were like insect horrors. They were not.
Insects?
Was that Lisa? Yeah, they looked like the monsters. Like their faces had broken apart and were writhing like mandibles. Like
Your kid and kids and wife, their faces.
it wasn't them. It wasn't them. Oh God, it was them. He says, and you can tell that he very much believed in the moment that he did these crimes that he was fighting these weird, like, insect monster nightmares, not his family.
And where did the corn come from? Did it just sprout out of the ground?
When they died, they shifted, and their blood, as it hit the ground, the corn rose.
And Joe will just kind of look up a little over at Kolchek and with a raised eyebrow, like, do we have enough?
I don't know. I think we need to somehow dive into this imaginary friend a bit more if we can. You want to
Yeah,
threaten him?
sure.
and
She'll
give
be
him
like, listen, pervert. That girl that visited you when you were a kid, what'd she look like? What was her name? Give him a shake.
Perfect. But her name was Valerie. Her name was Valerie. She dressed like she was from the museum. I really liked Little House on the Prairie. I think that's why she looked that way.
More details. Hair cone cob, blonde, brunette, whatever your perverted fantasies. Get them all out.
Dark-haired, shortish. He describes a girl that viewers of the video version of this would recognize from the cold open as being behind his curtains. And you very much get a ghost vibe. The more he talks, the more you start to think that this was a spirit, some sort of ghost.
And you're convinced, Randall, Mr. Hubbs, that your imaginary friend, this Valerie, back when you were a kid, is not the same figure that visited you a couple days ago.
I thought it was her. Oh, that's where I saw it. Have you
For
ever
what?
seen?
Give him another shove.
Well, have you ever seen a corn weevil? That's what they looked like. At the museum. I said the museum because Valerie looked like she came from the museum, and this woman looked the same clothes, the Little House on the Prairie, and that's where I'd seen that face. And they have pictures of they have images of the weevil. They have weevils at the museum. That's kind of the skin. It had gone like that, and their face had sprouted antennae, and they were coming to kill me. Oh, what was it? And he's just like saying things now because he's like, when was the last time I was at the local history museum?
All right. What did you and this Valerie do in the corn back when you were a kid, Corn Cob?
Nothing. We just played. I ran. We'd run in the corn and laugh. That's it.
And when she left you on a highway for dead, did she come back again?
No, he says.
What about the first time you saw her?
I don't know. I don't remember. The first time I thought it was a dream. I told my parents and they thought it was a dream too. So she only came a couple of times. 3, maybe 4.
All right, and I'll just give him one final shove before releasing him and stepping back.
Mr. Hubbs, we're going to do what we can to figure out what's going on here. Clear your name.
And he looks up at you. Okay. What is your code again, Kolchek? It's to get to the bottom of it regardless, right?
Yeah. So figure out who's ultimately pulling the strings by any means necessary.
Okay, cool. And if you're giving him this sort of like promise to continue investigating, I mean, it's like there's a new light that comes into his eyes for a quick second before he realizes that it doesn't change the fact that his family's dead. And that sucks. So,
Yeah.
we get that scene. Let's go back to the house. Are you taking the motorcycle again? Does it pull back up in front of this spontaneous cornfield? Because I love that.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Excellent. And the window pops open again, and like there's no like partial face. Sherry is fully in the glass, like looking out. At one point her nose sort of smudges and you can see a smear left behind. What are you guys doing?
I want to find where specifically Hobbs killed his family. Like, I figure the house hasn't been like cleaned, so it's probably easy enough. But I guess step one is go up to the house and investigate it. This is step one of a plan that basically is using the spell from the last mystery.
Okay, so your hope here, and I love this, is to head into the house and do that spell to present the candy to summon some sort of spirits and talk to them about what has happened here recently.
Yeah, I'm specifically hoping to learn like what was up with him, like probably like 5 minutes preceding him killing his family. That's specifically what I want to find out because I already know how they died, and I figure, well, actually, I guess at this point in the timeline, we don't know about the thing with the blood, but we know how they died and what happened to the bodies. So that's specifically what I want to find out. What he was like if there was anything unusual about his behavior, appearance, or anything.
No, it's great. You head into the house and you're going to start the ceremony that's going to summon some spirits. We've got that. We get the cinematic of like the late day sun coming in through the window. The corn is lightly rustling outside in the breeze. Maxwell, you have recently acquired a familiar sort of a guardian, I believe it's referred to as.
Yeah.
Who's going to keep an eye out for you, and it's in fact Eliana. This would be about the right time for her to like almost give you that little bit of a jump scare as she steps out of the corn behind you and says, "Watch out for what August is doing. There are powerful spirits at work," and then just vanishes.
I stand a bit stunned for a moment. Okay. And I go to August. What exactly are you doing?
He would be inside the house at this point, and he's setting up there, so it's going to take you a second to get there. August, why don't you give me that weird roll, and let's see how many spirits come to talk.
5. You know the hex special.
Oh, goody. But
the luck charm thing.
Yes, but that would be the
gets me
poor
5.
effects of a use magic. So does that get you your fifth experience?
Yeah, that does, and I know what I'm gonna take.
Sweet. What are you taking?
I'm taking another hex move.
Mhm.
This is something that Joe will appreciate. Force of Will. Basically, it's an anti-magic thing.
Nice.
That
Okay.
Mark finally manifests.
Cool. So, Maxwell, Eliana says there are powerful spirits at play here. And we cut in a flash to the inside where August has drawn the magic circle and set out the candy bars. And behind what kind of candy did you set out this time, August?
Honestly, I think it would still be like coated chocolates. I'm trying really hard to not say M&Ms.
Whatever. They have a lot of money. They can sponsor us. Okay, so your back is turned, and we get this image of an older. Older's not quite the word. She looks like she's only in her mid to late 30s if we get a good look at her, but lived a really rough life. Woman in sort of pioneer late 1800s garb. She's cast strictly in black and white, pale skin, dark hair, and she's very insubstantial. She's towing the candy and looking down at it disdainfully. She sniffs the air and says, "You rang." What do you do?
Yeah, so I hold up the hair samples and the root. Hello, yes. I'm looking to know what happened here just before these three died.
You can't really see her face. I just uploaded something into Roll20 and it's like a blurred face. So it's really tough to tell what her reaction is, except for the fact that she kind of chuckles and she says, "Before that happened, I'd been talking to Randall. His time had ripened." And we hear, Maxwell, are you headed into the house at this point to help out with what?
Help out is one word for it. I'm going in to see what he's doing. A bit nervous.
Right, to get eyes on the situation. That sounds good.
Yeah.
So you hear this noise behind you, August, and the woman in front of you does this sort of move with her hand and blows out. And I'm going to need you to make me a sharp roll.
Oh, damn.
That's a 13.
Very nice. Okay, so on a 13, when the phantom woman fucks with your head, making you think that all of your friends and acquaintances have been replaced by monsters, roll sharp. On a 10 plus, it's a disturbing illusion, but you know that it's an illusion. You turn around, and here comes Maxwell, and there's this sense that his head has been replaced by this monstrous, insectile, fucked up thing, and you have the sense that he's screaming at you. You have this momentary sense that he's coming to attack you and kill you, and you have no sense that it's Maxwell until you're like, whoa. You shake your head clear, perhaps because you're thinking about the fact that you've asked the spirit and you're prepared for a certain level of nonsense. But here it comes, and you see through it, and you see that it's Maxwell, but you are well aware that you've just been brushed over by something quite powerful that fucked with your perception in a big way. What do you do?
Well, my immediate thought is to use my new move to apply my will to dispelling this illusion, this mirage.
Okay. Is there a weird roll associated with that?
There is.
Okay, why don't you go ahead and do that for me, and let's see what that is. Force of will, magical effect, blocking a spell. Excellent. And I think that's going to come in real handy for your
That's
friend
an 11.
Maxwell. Yep. That will work really well. This woman, then, now that I've dragged you back to the page where you can actually see the image that I uploaded, very severe, it's an old school dress. You imagine there's some ribbons and hoops underneath there. What are you guys doing? Maxwell, you would come running up to see August making these weird faces of who in the fuck are you, what's going on, and then kind of shake themselves clear. Meanwhile, to the back, there's an apparition standing there. There is the ghost of a woman standing there, and she looks pissed. What are you guys doing?
When you say pissed, do you mean angry or hostile?
Both would be accurate right now. And it's she looks, her expression's hard to read, but her body posture is all I am about to fuck you guys up. What are you doing? What is going on here? Why have I been summoned? Sort of thing.
Well, okay, I'm going to immediately pull out my Domhawk and say, what the fuck have you done to August?
August, is it? Summoned me here with questions about the blessing? What are you doing here?
That's not relevant. What's the blessing?
The corn. The return. The land to its proper state.
So you know what's going on here?
Oh, men. So foolish. So slow on the uptake. And she looks to your left and she says, however do you deal with him, sister? And you get the sense of Eliana is there, but doesn't want to be there. She's trying not to be there. What are you guys doing?
Well, okay. Okay, so this is clearly a ghost. What do I know about hurting ghosts? Just off the top of my head.
There's the salt thing. Has always been talked about.
Giant evil spiders can kill them.
Old gods can kill them. Yes. They have certain reverence for their bones. They often will want something to be accomplished that they feel was left undone from life.
Well, this seems a little too short notice for Assault Circle, so I'm just gonna try the tried and true magic arrow.
A tried and true magic arrow. All right, cool. Maxwell, what are you doing? Go ahead and give me that roll. Let's see how that works for you. August, you can. Oh,
That's a 5.
Dear.
That's gonna work really well for you. Cool.
I'll decide what I'm going to do after I see what happens with this.
Yeah, after you see what the response is, she rushes at you as you draw back to begin the large cast that will allow those arrows to come out, and she grabs hold of your arm and like digs in to the mark that is there, that is part of your ritual, and just you can feel like you see her fingers come in and they are gnawed down until like the fingernail is gone, the end of it is gone. Her fingers sort of like look like fingerless gloves with the bones protruding, and they rip into your arm. Then you will take one harm that shall ignore armor, as it's right there on your flesh. And we're going to use the harm moves today because I always want to and then I always forget. So let's use the harm moves. One harm or more. You're going to... you are suffering intense pain, and we're going to give you a -1 ongoing until you can get some healing for this wound. Maxwell, what are you doing?
I want to run to the kitchen and find some salt.
You want to run to the kitchen and find some salt. Sweet. Why don't you act under pressure to see whether you can come and be of assistance quickly. Jo, Kolchek, do you have anything further to ask?
No, I think we're done with
Perhaps
him, aren't we?
ironically of Randall Hubbs, as these people fight this phantom woman in his...
No,
living...
Kolchek would call the other two to sort of gather and sort of start sharing information, compiling the information, and start to analyze it. So I would get on the phone to August. He's the one I know most in this particular group.
So there'll be phones ringing during this fight scene.
It's excellent. I feel like there's the really funny thing you could do where it goes to voicemail and you start like leaving a message about the this perhaps ghostly creature that's involved, as
exactly.
Or we just get the ringing. Jo, did you have anything else, or you were leaving too?
Yeah, I'm leaving too. Should be grabbing a green bastard sword back from the sheriff's, because no doubt she would have had to remove all of her weapons before going in to speak with Hub.
Sweet. Sounds good. I like that. We'll have the phone start ringing right as Maxwell returns from whatever he's doing in the kitchen. What is it that you want to do in the kitchen? You are hoping to acquire salt?
Yes, salt, because I hear that salt harms ghosts, so I'm wanting to get that and then run back with it.
Yep. So hard choice, worse outcome, or price to pay. Okay. We're gonna divert a little bit from just that bit of advice. I think as you come into the kitchen and you grab, you like pop open the cupboards and you've got it at the first go. There's the big canister of iodized salt with the little metal spout that'll come down, and you have that which you have come into the kitchen for. And as you're in the kitchen and you grab the canister of salt, something catches your attention out of the corner of your eye. It almost looks like there's somebody else here. So I guess the question is, you can head back immediately in the hopes of being able to help out August, or you can investigate what this is. So helping out August means turning your back to a insubstantial presence down past the kitchen. What would you like?
I'm going to get distracted by the presence, probably.
Excellent. We like that quite a bit. And it's shorter than the one out there, but it kind of looks not terribly unlike them. Longtime viewers of the show would recognize this person from behind the curtains in the cold open of Randall Hubbs's bedroom in 1987. It is the spitting image of this young girl. But her face is sort of insubstantial. She looks very, very blurry, and she's wearing an old-time dress. But she sort of like smiles at you, and she says, "Are you gonna come run with us? Where are you going? Where are you going with that salt?
Maxwell is gonna instinctually throw some of the salt on her.
It's okay.
I'm holding the salt. I see a ghost. I'm just throwing it.
Now, like a casting motion with this canister, or like the whole canister you're chucking at the child.
No, more of a casting thing. Yeah.
A casting thing with a canister. Okay, let's go ahead and give me a weird roll, because as you start to do that, things go a little strange. It's almost like Instagram has a new corn filter. Like, have you seen the machine generated images where it's all like trippy psychedelic cat thought? Okay, it looks like that, but it's like corn based, and it's over what's going on. God damn it, 10 plus. Okay,
10 with a -1 as well.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. And so the salt catches her, and that's probably why it remains just this weird sort of like Instagram filter. But Maxwell would probably be somewhat familiar with hallucinogenic drugs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got that thing going for it too. And very much in like the feeling of the head space, like the buzz along the top, and all of a sudden the hallway's a row of corn. And wait, but it's not. And this girl, you're running through the corn. No, you're not. Oh boy. And you manage to finish the casting of salt, and she recoils and disappears.
Awesome.
Meanwhile, back in the dining room, August, you have a ghostly woman in pioneer dress with her bony fingers buried in your arm. What are you doing?
Let's think. So I summoned her. Is my spell keeping her here, or is she here to stay unless I can banish her? Or do I not have like the time or willpower to like think through that?
You're in a good bit of agony. I was going to say, are you asking her that? Because
No,
she has answers.
Like, I've no, just like I've cast this spell before.
Okay, you want to try and banish her?
Well, okay, basically, if I could just like kind of dispel what's keeping her here, if that's what's going on, I would like to force of will it, because I feel like I'm in quite a bit of pain for like a proper spell.
Okay, no, that's fair. You are taking that -1 ongoing because you're in that pain. So go ahead, give me that weird roll -1. Let's see if you can force of will dispel the spell that kept her there. The spell that you had created.
8
Which
means I take
you
1
take
damage.
1 harm as the strain of dismissing rat magic unravels you. And I like that. I like that in terms of her bony fingers that are stuck in your forearm are the first ones that go, and they start wisping out into smoke, and she snarls at you and says, "You did not summon me." Well, you did, but I came here on my own. And she stacks it in and like rips back. As she's being pushed back, she says, "We shall meet again." And just like dust and gone, and the area is quiet. And we hear the salt hit the ground out in the hallway where Maxwell had cast it, and all is quiet across the house. Jo, Kolchek, what are you doing?
Have we like totally given up on trying to phone them? Well, all of our calls have been unanswered.
Oh, right, the phone calls. Crap, thank you. I got so excited about that. Yes, meanwhile, August, your phone has been ringing this entire time. Did you answer it and say, "Hang on, I got something busy," or did you like decline and go to voicemail? What did you do about those calls?
Tell me he tossed it away.
He sacrificed it for a magic spell. August?
Mitch, wake up.
Yeah, so apparently he declined the calls. Yeah.
All right, I would have put a message saying, August, I think this is right up your alley. I think we've got ghosts here. I think we've got some old lady ghost from the 1800s and some young girl ghost named Valerie from the 1800s. So some strange connection to corn weevils and the History Museum. If we don't hear from you, Jo, you want to go to the museum, or what do we want to do if we don't hear from?
Have lunch.
What time is it, Keeper?
I like it getting into evening. I was describing the scene of the fight as thinking of like dusk coming in, and the low rays of the sun coming across.
Oh yeah, Jo, you want
to have dinner?
Let's go hang out at the bar, wait for them, and then we can start to pool our information and figure out what the next step is.
Right, you can buy me a drink.
And that's what I tell August. on the phone.
All right, so that's it. Yep, we think there's the ghosts. We're headed to the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice, excellent. So it's back to the moment in the house. August, Maxwell, anything else that you want to try and find in the hub's home now that you know summoning ghosts is a bad idea?
Well, I
well-
think my first order of business is to try to deal with this wound because it's very painful.
Right on. Are you looking to perform first aid here in the homestead, or would you like to retreat and regroup?
Oh, I was thinking this might sting. Put a little holy water on the claw mark.
Nice. Yeah. Roll it.
Ooh, a 10. I was
Yep.
kind of hoping for it to be low enough to leave a scar.
Just
Or
stick
or
scars, right?
Or an outright miss and bring your friend back. Like, would you stop using magic in this house? So I that will heal that 1 point of harm. That will remove your -1 ongoing from the pain of it. And let's go to the bar. Let's have a little bit of a regroup scene. We'll do a little bit of sharing. I don't feel like we need to go through all of the information, but maybe if we've got a couple of clever lines to pass in the bar, that would be awesome.
How
I will have
fucked
taken
up
as I will have taken as much salt as I can with me, by the way, from the house.
Yeah, you can keep the canister. It's
I'm gonna
Cool.
take all the salt sachets in the bar too.
Yes.
nice.
How
Nice.
fucked up does this look? Or is he completely healed?
Oh yeah, okay. I'm pretty sure his sleeve is a little bit ripped,
And black,
Yeah.
maybe?
but oh yeah, I figured it out, I think. And force of will and try to force of will that curse that Joe and our keeper know about.
Oh, you're not saying that in character? Never mind then.
Fair. You would like to attempt that here in the bar. Does anybody have a real good bar name?
The Regal Beagle.
The Regal Beagle next to the Doubletree Motel. Yeah.
Because everyone goes to the Regal Beagle to get pissed and then pisses at the Doubletree Motel. I don't know. Dogs, trees.
It's well, yeah, who knows? It's there sort of along this little a river is generous. It's a creek. They call it a river because there's not a whole lot of it, and you can sort of see up to Lake Van Gilder there. And yeah, it's a nice enough place. It's a bit of a dive, but it's got a really nice deck out back that kind of looks along the riverside, which is sort of like swampy, marshy. And the drinks are strong. They've got a live band doing like 90s covers. The band really wishes that they were Sublime. We've all seen that band. I've seen that band a lot of times. Anyway, yes. So that's the scene at the Regal Beagle where Maxwell is stealing salt by the shaker.
So, it's not demon.
Well, demons can always be involved. You never can be too careful.
Ghosts, it would seem.
Yeah, it's what Randall
Yeah,
told us.
there is what looks like some kind of cult of ghosts, I would say.
Cult of
Well,
ghosts.
I don't know about cults. It seems more like an
It's always
association.
a cult. We fought some ghosts, though, by the way. Probably know.
Did you kill them?
What did the
Yeah.
ghosts look like?
There was a young girl, dark hair, wanted me to come and run with her, and
Of
seemed
course she did.
suspicious. That's what she said.
And what was she
Right.
wearing?
Ugh.
I can't remember. Maxwell describes what she was wearing.
Was she in a sort of old 1800s garb?
Little house on the prairie.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is, but now that you mention it, yeah. Why? Is that
Well,
important?
Yeah, it turns out Hubs had seen two ghosts. One when he was younger, and one just before he killed his family. Both, I think, were sort of wearing old 1800s clothes. And one of them, evidently, the one he saw as a kid named Valerie, he saw in, I think if I understood correctly, he saw in the museum, in the history museum.
Said something about he saw weevils in the museum.
Yeah, did he say that's what he thought his family looked like? His family's faces were turning into like weevil skin or something.
Yeah,
Yes,
it got quite graphic. They just these insectoid faces and mandibles just came out, split out from the skin of their faces. I'd
Well,
love to
yeah.
have something like that.
The ghost certainly caused some kind of hallucinations, that's for sure.
Right. So ghost causing hallucinations of weevils and then epically fast growing corn from their bodies.
Yeah,
Do we
they
think
refer
it's
to it,
got something-
one of them, perhaps a leader, referred to it as the Blessed.
They're starting to sound a lot like sacrifices here. Maybe you're not too wrong with that cult shit.
Exactly.
Yes, a corn cult.
So what's our plan for
populated by
tomorrow?
ghosts.
Kill the ghost.
Well, Okay. Beyond that, do we need to take a look at this museum, or
I think that's the. How did you see these ghosts? I mean, did he just pop out of nowhere?
well, this August here is just wonderful and summoned them asking for help. That caused some problems. You should probably not do
Yeah.
that, but
Well,
Yeah, he's
normally I
wonderful
don't
like that.
summon spirits. Normally it just lets me see them when they're around.
Normally he
I
curses
didn't know we
people
were
for
dealing with
running.
ghosts. I would have tried a different spell.
So we have ghosts who somehow manipulate people's brains, who take energy or use energy from dead bodies to fuel the growth of corn. We gotta,
no, old
I know
farmer
somebody.
family, perhaps.
Like, guys, hang on, guys. I'm gonna make a phone call. I think I know somebody who can help us out here. Just give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I have a contact in the occult, and between the corn and the rapid growth using dead bodies and these spirits from the 1800s, I think I've got enough information maybe to get something from one of my occult contacts. And I got the name here, Draco Lux. So I'm gonna get on the phone with Draco.
Draco Lux.
Yeah, and I'm gonna give him a call.
Brilliant. Yeah.
So can I? I'm gonna use this as my source of information for investigating a mystery, and
yeah.
I'll roll that. Let's see, that's gonna be you. That's gonna be 1. All right.
Awesome. One question, and please spell out Draco Lux in the chat.
Oh yes, Draco Lux is. I'll get to that here.
It's Drako or Draco? Draco.
Yeah.
Malfoy.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah, I was right. I guessed it.
Now, the question I want to ask him is, what can hurt it? So again, I described to Draco. I was like, "Listen, guy, I promise you that stuff you asked for. I found somebody. I can get it for you, and I know it's been several months, but I can get that for you eventually. But again, this is corn and dead bodies growing from corn, using the nutrients from the dead bodies, and ghosts and from the 1800s. This is all here in Iowa. This is weird. I've never heard anything like this. Do you have any idea what this is? Do you have any idea what can take these things out? I got a couple friends who look like shit right now with their interactions with these ghosts recently. Can you help me out?
Whatever. Sure.
Well,
So what
August.
we're looking for what can hurt it.
What can hurt it? Yeah.
That sounds good.
I mean, it seems to be proved that salt.
It scared it off. It's on the hour. Let's take 5. That will give me a good way to try and think about how to answer that in story. Yes.
Keeper, one question.
Yeah.
Since it's currently 2017 in the game, would you say it's August 2017? Like exactly 30 years since the last time something like this happened, or are you not being that obvious?
It's definitely not that obvious. It's
Okay, not like the pig.
No, not like the pigs. Yeah, it's a little bit off, and I like it being a little bit out of season for the corn, even, so that it's not out there in the field. Like maybe it's even now, which is not. The corn plants are probably starting, but they're only about this big in the rest of the world, whereas in Randall Hubbs' yard they were enormous.
Not quite the rest of the world, but in the America world, yeah.
Yes, well, as Americans, we only concern ourselves with
Yeah. Baseball, World Series, got it.
We're lucky to think outside of our own yard.
This episode edited and produced by Dora. Music composed and produced by Dora. For a full list of all participants in Untitled Dice Game, along with their roles, characters that they may play, and social media, visit untitleddicegame.com. For the latest news, follow us on Twitter at UntitledDice. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We would love for you to tell your friends about us too. Thank you for listening. We really appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Hey, hold on. Don't leave just yet. There's more podcasts to listen to. Like Monster Legend Podcast, the weekly podcast about cryptids and folklore around the world. With me, Tanner Davidson. Each week we'll go to a different place, talk about all the monsters, all the scary folklore, all the UFOs and aliens, conspiracy theories. All that stuff happening every Monday at 12 p.m. on every podcasting platform I could possibly think of submitting my podcast to. So listen and tell your friends about it and enjoy this episode of this podcast. Thank you.